met before, and hello for the people that I haven't. Kerry, I don't think we've met before. Welcome to the team. Look, my name's Stormy, and I guess my story is, I've been on that billable hour for my whole life. I've either been a freelancer or I've been, like a bar chick, a casual bar chick. I've actually had many careers, but I've been on that billable hour for my whole life. And since having my little baby, my 15-month-old Frankie, I'm finding it really difficult, number one, to find childcare, and number two, to go back to teaching for that hour again. And so I've been looking for different things that I can, jump on board with that can help me get a steady stream of income and join other people. I'm living in Byron Bay, which is in a remote part of Byron Bay. So I want to get out there and be amongst a supportive group of women again, really. And through a mutual friend of ours, I met Kristen, who I keep calling Kirsten. And this great Pilates girl, Meg, introduced us, thought we'd be a good fit, and everything started from there. So I pre-enrolled, it's been a good few months now, at least 6 months ago, I think, roughly, and have slowly started building up a team. Have reconnected with a lot of old friends that I haven't spoken to for ages, and have just been doing a little bit of research. And look, I think the business and the products have got amazing potential here in Australia. I've been lucky enough to be able to have used the products, which I don't think you really have to get it into the business side of things. But look, they're amazing. They're really, really good. They're the best products I have ever used. And I've been a natural girl for most of my life, and have just used, egg and mayonnaise. I think I went through at one stage. I've tried it all. But yeah, my skin's looking better than ever, even though I'm completely sleep deprived as a mum to a child that is a poop addict. But the best part of all of this has been meeting new people and reconnecting to the people that I haven't spoken to in a bit of a while, and trying to create a team around that. So I'm going to introduce you guys now to Heather and to Kristen. I keep saying Kirsten. And they're going to tell you a little bit more about the products and a little bit more about the business opportunities. So stay tuned, and over to you.
Okay. Hi, guys. Oh my gosh, am I losing you? Uh-oh. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. I froze on my own screen for a second, so I got a little bit worried that I had a bad connection. So I'm Kristen Stapleton, and I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States. And I've been with Rodan and Fields hold on a second. Now that we just did this, I got to figure something out. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of lost you guys there for a second when Heather pulled the presentation up. So I've been with Rodan and Fields about 3 years, and Heather and I have pretty similar backgrounds. Heather and I went to MBA school together, and after we graduated from business school, I moved to St. Louis. We were both marketing majors, and I moved here to start a job in brand management with Nestle Purina Pet Care. And I really, really, really loved what I did. Purina is a great company. The pet category is a really fun category to work in because people are so passionate about their pets. And I just really loved my job and everything that I did. But I worked pretty long hours, probably about 65 hours a week, and I traveled quite a bit, probably at least 2 to 3 times a month for a few days at a time. And when we started a family, that schedule just got to be a little bit too hectic for both of us. We don't have any family in St. Louis. My husband was working a really demanding job as well. And we just decided that, we were getting exhausted. It was hard to kind of keep up with everything. And so I ended up, making the tough decision to really step away from my career at Purina. And I was lucky enough to get hired back as a consultant to work on a part-time basis a few months after I left. And Purina did not allow you to be a part-time employee, but they hired me back as a consultant. But as Stormy said, I was then tied to the billable hour. I didn't necessarily, have any guarantees that I would have a job. And so it was a great gig for a long time. I did it for a number of years, but in the last few years that I was doing it, I was sort of not feeling as challenged. So it's kind of missing the challenging work. I watched all of my peers kind of rise to big, important VP level jobs. And I felt like I needed something else kind of for me. And I needed something more challenging and something more stable. And we looked at a bunch of franchises. Those were about $1 million to $1.5 million to get started. That felt like I'd be right back on that hamster wheel again. And I honestly didn't think the right thing existed. And then I was introduced introduced to Rodan and Fields through a college friend that I really had kind of lost touch with. And, when she told me about it, and she was doing it alongside a super demanding full-time job, and she had a 6-month-old when she first started, it just sort of felt like the right fit. It kind of felt like the diamond in the rough that I've been looking for all these years. I loved the idea of partnering with these smart doctors. I loved the idea of being part of a brand that was already recognized and well known, and I could really just borrow the name and, be able to use them for my own business. And I loved the idea of working with friends. So I jumped in pretty quickly and made the decision that, why not? Let's give it a try. I think it could be great. My husband agreed. And honestly, it has been so much fun. I have really loved it. I love getting to work with so many great women that I've met, so many friends that I've reconnected with that are now part of my team. And I really honestly just can't say enough great things about the company. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just jump in to tell you a little bit more about Rodan and Fields. So, this is Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields. And if you have not heard of Rodan and Fields before, I'm sure you've probably heard of Proactive. And so they are the doctors that created Proactive, and they had sold that business, but still really, had this very entrepreneurial spirit and wanted to do something else. And so they launched Rodan and Fields, and their goal was really to bring dermatological products to the masses. So they wanted everybody to be able to have access to great skincare that really worked and delivered great results without necessarily having to go into your dermatologist and get a prescription. These two met when they were in their residency at Stanford and really instantly became best friends. And honestly, Heather and I have had the fortune of being able to go to convention and see the two of them together. And you really can tell that the two of them just genuinely are really great friends and really love each other. And I think that passion and the connection that they have really trickles down into all of our teams and really just, allows us to really all have such strong connections, I think, with the partners and the people that we are getting to work with. They're both still practicing dermatologists in the San Francisco area, and they're actually both professors as well out in San Francisco. So they really are dynamos and, really are just amazing. And we're so lucky that they've done what they've done with this business because we're able to partner with them and to really, use their name and borrow their name to be able to be successful ourselves. So, they've been called the dermatological dream team, and I think that really is true. They probably are two of the most well-known dermatologists in the world. So we have some really exciting news to share that was just announced last week, and that's that we are now the #1 skincare brand across all channels and price points in the United States. And that is huge. The doctors set out with that goal a number of years ago, and their goal is really to be #1 around the world. In addition to being #1, we're also the #1 premium skincare in all of North America, so including Canada as well. And we reached the $1 billion mark in sales. So for a brand that's only been around for 8 years in this channel, it is remarkable that we've been able to achieve what we have. Some of the competitors that we surpassed have been around for decades. Lancome was founded in 1935, Estee Lauder in 46, Clinique in 67, and Oil of Olay in 52. So when you think about the years and years that those brands have been around and building customers, your moms and your grandmothers may have used those brands and told you about those. We're so lucky to have achieved what we have in such a short period of time. And we also don't do any advertising. So really this brand has been built on word of mouth recommendations that, people like those of us that are already in business have really been able to share. We still have a very small percentage of the share in the United States. It's under 10%. At a training I went to last week, they actually said it's really more around 4%. And so there's still plenty and plenty and plenty of room for growth in North America, in the United States. And then when you think about as we, continue to expand globally, there's just a ton of opportunity. So we're going to go ahead and talk just a little bit about what this could mean for those of you in Australia. The doctors, as I mentioned, have really set their sights on being #1 around the world. So their goal, is to continue to launch in one new country a year and to really be #1 around the world. And the exciting thing is that when we launch into a new country, the doors are opened in all directions. So I can have people like Stormy that join my team or purchase products from me in Australia, and as an Australian, you can also sell product to those in the United States or Canada, which are the only 2 countries that we're currently in. And so really, when you think about it, not only do you have the opportunity to be on the ground floor in Australia, but really on the ground floor globally, because we're just going to continue to expand to a new country every year. And we're only in 2 countries right now. So you're really on the ground floor of this opportunity. We've already reached that $1 billion mark, and they are honestly shooting for the stars. Really, I think the sky is just the limit with where this brand is going to go. So I think it's honestly just such an exciting opportunity for you guys. We don't know after Australia exactly where we'll launch next. We believe it's going to be somewhere in Asia, and Japan is what we've heard tossed around, although we don't have anything definitive. But I would anticipate next year launching into another country. Heather's going to give you a little bit more details about the products and things coming in Australia in a few minutes. So I want to just talk a little bit just about how these doctors have really empowered us as entrepreneurs. So this brand was originally launched into high-end department stores here in the United States back in 2002, and it really quickly became the #1 selling brand. But the doctors noticed that shopping patterns were really changing, and the way people were being influenced to make decisions was really changing. And so they, I think, were such visionaries when we think about it. And they felt that there was a better way to go about doing business. So in a very, very, very bold and risky move, they pulled, out from the glass counters where most everybody is used to buying their products, and relaunched this brand through this direct selling channel, which is really what gave entrepreneurs like all of us the opportunity to be able to have a slice of the pie. And this anti-aging market is such a booming market that we're so lucky to be able to kind of have a piece of the pie. And, they're the only brand that is really allowing people like you and I to have a piece of it. They've also really revolutionized this industry. They've made everything very turnkey and easy. They knew that this business was going to attract very busy people, well-educated businessmen who were interested in having something of their own. And so they made it very easy for us. They deliver all of the products. They handle all of the order fulfillment. We don't carry any inventory, nor do we have to deliver anything. So it just makes it very easy for us to be really successful with this. Are you guys? Okay, there we go. Heather, if you want to go ahead and move to the next slide, you can. So as I mentioned, I think these doctors have really kind of been visionary in what they were doing, and traditional business models have changed, but I think they were really on the front end of that. So, the anti-aging skincare market has really been changing and is really a growing market. People younger and younger and younger are caring about what they look like and starting to do preventative measures. I have some college-age students that are using some of our anti-aging products that are already starting to think about that. And I know that I wasn't thinking about that when I was that age. I just think people younger and younger are recognizing the importance of taking care of their skin and starting out early to really prevent getting a wrinkle. In fact, the doctors always say the best wrinkle is the one that you never get. And so their goal is to really provide products that are preventative. The other thing that I think, the doctors were visionary with is that they, I think, were ahead of their time and really noticing how power was shifting away from corporations and back to the individual. And social media is one of those things, 15 years ago, a brand like this probably wouldn't have been able to grow to the size that it has as quickly as it has. But because of the rise of social media, the way we get influenced and the way we learn about things has definitely changed. We all look to our friends and family now. If we're looking for a restaurant or a place to vacation or things to do in the spot we're going to vacation, we get on social media and we ask our friends for tips and, the inside scoop on what we should do. And so that has allowed us to really share products that we love. We as women are naturally doing that anyway. We talk about, a pair of shoes we love or a pair of jeans we bought that we really like. And so it's just natural to talk about the skincare products that you like. And I think that, social media has really allowed us to become so successful with this business and to really have a very, broad area that we can reach with our products. You're not just talking about your neighborhood. You can really reach people anywhere around the world. Social commerce has definitely risen. When the doctors pulled out of retail and relaunched, they recognized that people were doing more shopping online, but that has even changed so much more since we launched this business 8 years ago. I mean, I was actually just at the mall. I live very close to a mall here in St. Louis, and I was there trying to pick up a couple things for Easter weekend. And I noticed 2 stores that had closed since the last time I was there that are empty now. And really, here in the United States, you read almost daily about a pretty successful, well-known chain that has decided to either shut down altogether and has gone bankrupt, or is just shutting a huge number of their stores. And so we're, on the front side of that. Everything we do is ordered online. All of our products are shipped, direct to the customer. And I think that we're set up to allow people to shop the way they're used to shopping now. And then the last thing is really just the breakthroughs in skincare. These doctors, Heather will talk to you more about the products, but they, because of their background, and they each have 30 years experience as dermatologists, they know what customers are looking for. They know what we need, and they're really on the front end of developing products that people love. We launched one new product here in the United States in the fall. We're actually launching another new product next Tuesday, which everyone says is going to be a complete game changer. And their goal is to launch one new product a year. So we're going to continue to see these revolutionary game-changing products available for us to provide to our customers. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Heather. As I mentioned, Heather and I have known each other since graduate school, and what is so much fun is getting to do this business with her. I mean, she was the first person that joined me in business, and I'm just so thankful for that every day. We went from probably talking a couple times a year, even though we had been such good friends in grad school, but you get busy and tied up with your job and your families and your kids, and now we talk, a couple times a week, sometimes every day. And so it's just so much fun to be able to do this with her. So I will let Heather take it from here.
Okay. Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. So I'm going to focus more on my experience with the products versus telling you, all about my background. But I live in Indianapolis, which is in the Midwest, not too far from Kristen. What are we, like 4 hours or something? I have 2 little ones, and left my big career in marketing, what feels like quite a long time ago. But anyway, before I get into the products, let me kind of give you the backdrop to my experience with them. So I am 46. I'm a former lifeguard and sun worshiper, unfortunately. And one side of my family has horrible rosacea. And you put the 2 of those together, sun damage and rosacea, and it does not make for good skin. And things started to go downhill for me, for my skin, in my mid-20s, like really right around grad school. And I tried a lot of different things. I've kind of lived all over the place. So I saw a lot of different dermatologists over the years, and was on many different medications, some oral, some topical, sometimes both, steroids, oral antibiotics. And some would work, some wouldn't work, some would try my face. I just kind of had resigned myself that I was going to have kind of crappy skin, that my face was just going to be red all the time with, those crazy broken capillaries. And so, that was just my life, right? I just didn't have good skin. And luckily, my husband married me anyway. And so when Kristen reached out to me 3 years ago about Rodan and Field and wondered if I'd be interested, well, one, I had never heard of the brand. I didn't know what she was talking about. But I said no for a number of reasons. I mean, one, I wasn't interested in sales or network marketing. We'll get into that in a little bit. But 2, I wasn't interested in skincare. I mean, my skin was a mess, and I didn't think anything could help it. And I certainly didn't think I could use the products. But I listened because I'm nice. And I guess maybe because in the back of my head, I knew I was looking for something. I didn't want to go back to the corporate world, but I wanted to work. But I wanted to do it on my terms. And just like Kristen, I didn't want to, risk life and limb and our whole entire future cash savings on, starting my own business. So the more I learned about how this business works and how it's so not sales, and how, what the kind of growth they were seeing and still are seeing what it could mean for our future and how I could get back in the game, but I could do it on my terms, I completely changed my mind. And I was like, yeah, sign me up. But I didn't think the products would work for me, but I didn't care. You know what? I just wanted a seat on the rocket ship. I wanted a piece of the pie. And so I jumped in. But luckily, I was wrong about the products. So Rodan Fields, one of their product lines is called Soothe, which is for sensitive skin. I didn't believe it. You know, my skin's way too sensitive. It wouldn't help me, but I was wrong. And I literally felt and saw a difference within a matter of days. And I went from having like puffy, inflamed, really raw skin that hurt all the time. I was just kind of used to it, to normal looking and feeling skin. Like, you know, my skin's like a skin color. Like I wear blush now, and I hadn't worn blush since, you know, high school. So for me, you know, they call Rodan Fields life-changing skincare, and it sounds a little bit, you know, of a cliche, but it's so true. I mean, I am a, you know, personal testament that it has truly, the products have truly changed my life, and the business is changing it as well. So that's kind of the backstory for my experience with the product. So let's talk more about, whoops, how do I do this? Okay, let's talk more about the products themselves. So the doctor's approach to this product line is what they call multi-med therapy, and it's based on their, you know, decades of clinical experience with their patients and their knowledge that, you know, aging is a complex process. Skin is a complex organ, and there's no one ingredient. There's no magic mushroom out there that's going to transform your skin. Unfortunately, there's not. They know that it takes the right ingredients, using them in the right order, in the right formulations, you know, to kind of work together synergistically to change your skin. So that's how they developed Rodan Fields, was a regimen approach. So they have 3 regimens will be available in Australia for launch. Redefine, Soothe, which was my regimen, and Reverse, along with a lot of other, you know, ancillary products. So let's get into each individually. I'll start with Soothe because it's my favorite. Soothe is great. If you have red, sensitive, just irritated skin, you have rosacea like me, Soothe can truly work wonders. And how it works, it combines clinically proven active ingredients along with natural skin soothers to truly help heal your moisture barrier, which those of us with sensitive skin, that's what we're lacking. And so any sort of environmental aggressor or anything can, you know, come in and irritate us. And so it helps heal that barrier. And, you know, for me, what it's been able to do is allow me to start using anti-aging products, which I never could in the past. So I use a combination of Soothe plus Redefine. You know, I'm 46, I need to anti-age, but, you know, forever, any sort of anti-aging product would fry my face off. And now that's not the case. And what you'll see here throughout the presentation is examples of Australians who have been lucky enough to use the Rodan Fields regimens and share their testimony. So this is Alice, and she used Soothe for 10 weeks. And you see a, you know, noticeable, visible difference. She said she noticed a difference after 4 weeks, and after 10, her dryness and itching was gone, as well as her redness. She said people are noticing and commenting, which is so true. I would get so many comments on my skin. Now people just think I have good skin, that I was one of those people that was born with good skin, but little do they know what it used to look like. Okay, so let's move on. Reverse is the #1 selling regimen here in the US. Reverse is for sun damage. So all of the results of sun damage, brown spots, dullness, discoloration, as well as aging. You know, and I don't know, I know that Australians have issues with the sun, but, you know, when we were growing up here, we didn't understand how bad the sun was for you. So we all were laying out with baby oil and, you know, trying to get as dark as we possibly could. And then now here we are as grown-ups, and all the bad effects from the sun have taken hold. And so I think that's why Reverse is the #1 seller here, because everybody suffers from the side effects of sun damage. So Reverse can help reverse that. It exfoliates, it visibly brightens and fades dark marks, as well as reduces the appearance of lines and wrinkles. And here we have Leanne. This is after just 5 weeks, which is pretty amazing. She used Reverse plus the AMP MD roller, and I'm going to talk to you and I'm even going to show it to you in just a second. But she says that she has eyelids now. Her skin feels like silk, visibly clear, firmer, and less noticeable freckles. Some people call them freckles. Some people call them age spots or sunspots. It's all a result of sun damage. So our last regimen is Redefine, and this is really our foundational regimen. This is for overall anti-aging, lines, pores, loss of firmness. And, Redefine works to try to kind of counteract the fact that once we get into our 30s, we are losing more collagen than our body is producing. And that's what creates the wrinkles and the sagging. And so Redefine is meant, and a lot of our other products is meant to try to boost your collagen production. And the exciting news is that this line in particular was named the #1 premium anti-aging brand in the US. And here we have Chartreux. Can you guys see her? My little thing is blocking her. If it is blocking her, you can kind of hide the people, hide us, hide the presenters. But she said her skin is now more moisturized, smoother, that she had little rough patches on her cheeks and forehead that are all gone, and that her forehead wrinkles have diminished, and that the wrinkle between her eyebrows, we call that the 11s, has all but disappeared. Whoops. Sorry. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you about and show you is the AMP-MD system. So the doctors have tried to recreate some of their in-office treatments and bring them, as part of the Rodan and Field line, so that their customers can use them at home. And obviously it's much cheaper and much more convenient to be able to do this kind of treatment or whatever at home versus having to pay and go into a derm's office to do it. And so if you've ever heard of micro needling, that's a treatment that you could get at your derm's office. I hear it's a little bit treacherous, that it's quite painful. They have, done a scaled back version of that and found that you could see similar results. And what it is, you guys see this? I can't see myself anymore. Wait, let me try to, here we go, hold on. Right. Okay, now I can see me. Okay, so this is a derma roller. It has 200 surgical grade, like acupuncture needles. And the way it works, you roll it on your problem areas or roll it all over your face. It doesn't hurt, it's prickly, but it's not like, you're hurting yourself. But it works in 2 ways. It is creating little micro injuries in the skin, doing that on purpose. And once that happens, the skin tries to heal itself. And how it does that is it creates collagen and elastin. And that's what we're trying to do, to fill up those lines and wrinkles and to improve any sagging. The other way it works is it creates little micro channels, kind of like aerating your lawn. So whatever treatment you put on after, so if you're going to put on like a little serum, not this one, this is our lip serum, but we have a retinol peptide serum, put that on after, it's going to penetrate more deeply. So that is the AMP-MD system. It's quick, it's easy, and very well loved. I have about 100 customers, and almost all of them have this handy dandy tool. All right, those are the products. We have, quite a bit more, but those are the kind of mainstays of our product line. So let's move on and talk about the business model. So Kristen and I both talked about how we, left the corporate world and really dreamed about going out on our own, but just couldn't stomach the risk and the investment. What's different about Rodan and Fields, you're not opening your own brick and mortar. You're not investing much money at all. But what you are investing is your time in connecting with your network and sharing a business and a brand and products that you love. And so it's a much different way of doing business than, a traditional entrepreneurial venture. It's not about the money. It's about the time and about your connections. And so you can, be your own boss, build your business on your terms. This was so important to me. I think for a lot of people that were in the corporate world or are in the corporate world, they just don't want to be there anymore. Once you have a taste of that freedom, it's so hard to go back. You can earn more income. It really is up to you as to what you want out of this business. If you just want a couple $100 a month, well, by God, that's super easy. If you want to replace a six-figure income, that is definitely doable too. It's going to take time and it's going to take some hard work, but we have a lot of people who have replaced big six-figure incomes. For you, this is all about fitting the business into your life. In my old job, I tried to squeeze some life into my work because work was my life. This is the complete opposite. You decide how much you want to give to this business. Almost everybody works this business in part-time hours. I would say I work 10 to 15 hours a week around my kids. I also teach Zumba. So around everything else that's important to me, I build this business. And, Kristen talked about this too. It's about connecting with others. And that will be one of your favorite things about this business is the relationships that you build and rebuild and create. And they call this personal development with a paycheck. That's one of the things I missed not working was, working on myself and challenging myself and bettering myself. I miss that, not being in the working world. And you'll challenge yourself and you will get better. You'll become a better version of you because you will grow and be challenged. But just a little bit more, I like to kind of spell it out for people how Rodan and Fields is different than other network marketing companies because I certainly did not have a good impression of network marketing. That wasn't something that I wanted to do. I thought, well, you have to have parties and you have to bug your friends and, you have to walk around, delivering bags of products to people. This is so different than, the direct sales companies that, your mom knew or, it's not Mary Kay, it's not Avon. I don't know what direct sales you have in Australia, but this is products that people look for. People come to me. When they find out you're a Rodan sales consultant, they're like, "Oh my God, I need some anti-aging. I've heard about this. I want this." They're well loved because they work. And the products are consumable and easily replenishable, and that's really important. This isn't jewelry or clothes that you buy once a year or twice a year. This is products that you need to replenish, every couple months. And so for you, what that means is, customer loyalty because they love the products and an ongoing income stream with minimal work. And this is not a party-based business. We recommend you do a couple launch events, just if, you were opening a restaurant, you do, throw a grand opening. But I haven't done any parties since I launched my business 3 years ago. So this is not like that. It's not something that you have to or need to do. And then on the business side, that Rodan and Fields Corporate really, they're the best company I've ever worked for, and I've worked for a couple of Fortune 100 companies. They do all the heavy lifting. We don't carry any inventory. They do all of the order fulfillment and shipping, all of that processing part. We are certainly a customer service arm, but they are as well. So if we need to escalate things, if it's something that we can't solve, then they solve it. We have a state-of-the-art IT platform, so a .com website where people, can order just like they would off of Amazon, as well as a state-of-the-art back office, which is how we run our business. So everything is completely virtual. You can run your business anywhere, from your phone, your laptop, your iPad. You can work from the beach, which a lot of us do. When we go on vacation, if we need to do any work, we can do it from there. And then they offer world-class training and incentives too. So, for you, this means you have your own virtual franchise and, some amazing rewards from a company that loves you. All right, we are almost done. So a little bit more specifics here. Where are we? So in terms of getting started, if you're in Australia, and I think there might be a couple of US folks on board, but if you're in Australia, you have the opportunity to pre-enroll as a consultant up until April 30th. And we're launching in Australia May 15th. And so what this whole pre-enrollment thing gives you is you're able to kind of get up to speed and start building your business before the launch, which is really incredibly valuable. So you can be part of our April training class. I think we're kicking off some training even this week, but I think a bigger onboarding next week. You'll have access to business building tools, and you can begin building your team now. And then in the first half of May, I think it's May 3rd, you can select and receive your business kit. And so you'll see two examples down here. You can hey Frankie, look how cute she is. You can personalize your website and have access to your back office, and then participate in any corporate training events as well as team training events as well. So the business kits range from about $60 to $1,200 Australian dollars. And what these kits are for is for your own personal use, these products. You want to be a product of a product and use the line, as well as sampling and demoing, and you can share products. I will often, if a potential customer is local, one of my Zumba students today just brought back, I loaned out the reverse regimen for her, and she just brought it back today. So that's an option too. You can loan stuff out if people want to try it. And so we have, a few different options depending on what your budget is. But the person who invited you can tell you a little bit more about that. The two larger kits, which are shown here, have really the full breadth of the product line, which is nice for you to kind of have it all. And then on May 15th, you can officially launch your business and begin earning from the team that you've pre-enrolled, as well as start placing orders and building your customer base. And remember, this is true for your Australia connections as well as any connections in Canada and the US. And then once we launch the next country, you can start building there as well. So I'm going to hand it back over to you, Stormy, and let you just close off the call.
We've got an extra person here. Frankie's been waving to everyone. So guys, I hope that's answered all of your questions. It's a pretty thorough little call that we've got going on today. I think the best thing to get out of all of this is that we're still in a pre-enrollment stage here in Australia, and I've been able to start building on my team and sort of start to learn how to connect to people while being authentic and not being painful, and sort of hone in the skills, I guess, and hone in the way that you can be able to fit it into your life before it all launches. So you sort of nutted out all the hard stuff, and then when you begin in May, bang, you can just take off. So that's why I think it's really good to get into the pre-enrollment first. But look, guys, I think there's Liana, who we haven't met, that's come on, and Carrie. Are there any questions that you want to ask the ladies while we've still got them online? I can't see you guys, so you can unmute yourselves if you want to ask a question. There's Carrie. Did you have any questions?
No, not really. I was very interested just to hear about the products. Kelly has told me lots about them before she left. So I was just, I am interested in skincare, so as she knows. So I got a lot out of that. So yep, no, I don't think I have any questions at this stage because I haven't used the product yet. So
yeah, look, I think, you know, in terms of Australians, especially the reverse. I mean, I use the anti-aging, the Redefine, and that worked wonders on my skin. I can't wait to try the reverse to be able to get rid of the leftover sun damage. But, you know, you don't have to try the products in order to appreciate how good the business model works. But, you know, and also in saying that, I think a lot of people like to try the products to be able to, walk the walk, I guess, and for people to be able to comment onto your face. And you can add it into conversations really easy when people are like, oh my God, your skin is amazing. It's like, hell yeah, I'm using Rodan and Fields. It goes from there, you know. Well, look, I'll wrap it up. Thank you, ladies. Awesome call as always. It's always good to see your faces. And yeah, speak to your gal. And go ahead and pre-enroll. There's no commitment to pre-enroll. It's not like you're going to be hit up for